And besides the NATO application, I'm sure some of your former colleagues are out there as well, encroaching and doing all sorts of other things from economic means or other means that just make Russia feel insecure.
Correct, and you're exactly right. It's the breadbasket of Russia. Russia as a country does not have the resources that it needs to sustain a first world population.
Right.
It has energy resources, but food resources, natural resources for construction, for lumber. It doesn't have the natural mineral deposits for gold, silver, coal. Any of the rare earths that it needs. Those largely exist in former Soviet states. The reason the Soviet Union was functional for so long was because the industrial center was Russia, and it went to these Soviet satellite states for natural resources. So then the satellite states didn't have to develop an industrial base. They just had to essentially be a source of natural resources. So there was a symbiotic relationship that was there until it all fell apart in 91.
Okay.
So now you really do have to think about, how is Russia going to survive without, it's not like the United States that has all of its natural resources there. It's not like the UK that has fantastic resources there. It's not like Southeast Asia with fantastic resources, right? It's mostly frozen tundra.
Right. And the aggression was happening with Russia because Ukraine was slowly being moved away from that and moved to the West, whether it was NATO approved or not. It was moving that way.
Correct.
And that was the low-level aggression for the past 10 years.
Correct. And there's a trigger point there, right? And especially a trigger point when you think that as one former Soviet satellite state gains distance from Russia, other ones start to follow. So you've got Azerbaijan, and you've got Armenia, and you've got Estonia, and you've got these other countries that are watching what's happening and deciding, what do we do with that? Do we move further away? Do we double down on our reliance with Russia? What is it? How does it compromise us? What do we stand to benefit? And that's not a narrative that Russia really feels comfortable with for a long period of time.
Now, Finland just joined NATO?
So
it's a bit of a shock.
Well, this is also what's interesting, is that when you look at Finland and Norway, technically what they did is they submitted a rapid application, but it takes years to be approved. So it was very symbolic by virtue of the fact that they signed, that they applied, but it's been misreported, misunderstood. They're not part of NATO. They've just requested the review for NATO to accept them. And they've got a massive problem because Turkey has made it very clear that they don't have any intentions of accepting either application. And Turkey's kind of the thorn in NATO, just like Russia and China are the thorn in the UN. So Turkey becomes a very difficult win for the rest of Europe when it comes to getting NATO to agree on policy. And Turkey's got a strong relationship with Russia. They've got a history of their own internal challenges that make their incentives quite different than what you would see from Poland or Germany in the UK.
Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.